Hello, my dear students. I am Dr. Mahesh Naik, Assistant Professor of English. And now in this class, this is class number 4, we are discussing some of the aspects of the short story, The Open Window. And uh, as you have already known, this story is written by H. Munro, whose pen name is Saki. Right, class 4, The Open Window, and this is continuation from class 3. Right, what we learned in the last two classes, especially. Right, my dear students, we knew when the story began, Mr. Nuttall visits Mrs. Sappleton in a rural area, unknown rural area. The title of the village is not given. And Vera's narration of the tragedy there, Vera narrates or tells a tragedy that had happened in the life of Mrs. Sappleton to Mr. Nuttall. Right, and we know that Mr. Nuttall believes whatever tragic story Vera tells to him. And when Vera was talking to Mr. Nuttall, Mrs. Sappleton was not there. And after some time, that means when Vera finishes her story or the tragedy, Mrs. Sappleton arrives there. And she also tells something about that open window and the reason for that window being kept open. And even she does not pay any attention to the words or the problem of Mr. Nuttall. This makes Mr. Nuttall a bit low spirited. And after that time, the three men and the dog, which Vera had told that all the three men had been drowned in a marsh with the dog. Okay, and these three men arrive. And Mr. Nuttall's hasty exit. As soon as Mr. Nuttall sees these three men and the dog, he uh, rushes out of the house, fearing that they are the ghosts of those people. And right after these three men enter the house, one of the three men, especially Mrs. Sappleton's husband, he makes a comment about that person here, Mr. Nuttall's a sudden exit or departure. And all of a sudden, Vera explains the reason for Mr. Nuttall's exit. As we know that Vera says Mr. Nuttall is afraid of dogs because he was once chased by a pack of dogs. That we know uh, very clearly. Good. What here we have only one objective from this video lesson, I mean, video teaching, to give an idea of how to sketch the characters of the story, the open window. That means here in this video, we are going to have a look at how we have to write a brief note or sketch characters. Here we have two examples as model characters or model notes. Right, brief note or character sketch or model sample notes. Let us see Mr. Frampton Nuttall. If you are asked a question to write a brief note or sketch the character of Mr. Frampton Nuttall, you can add all these important points. Okay, let us see the first one. Uh, when the story begins, Mr. Nuttall enters the scene or enters the story or enters the setting, and we do not know, the readers do not know about his background or occupation and age. Okay, so nothing is known about these things regarding Nuttall. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ನಟಲ್ಲು ಎಲ್ಲಿಂದ ಅಫ್ಕೋರ್ಸ್ ಎಲ್ಲಿಂದ ಬಂದ ಅವನ ಕೆಲಸ ಏನು ಕೆಲಸ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾನೆ ವಯಸ್ಸೆಷ್ಟು ಇವ್ಯಾವ ವಿಚಾರಗಳು ಸಹ ರೀಡರ್ಸ್ಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಾಗೋದಿಲ್ಲ. Right, his visit to Mrs. Sappleton and the reason of the visit. Fine, we know that he has a nerve problem, and to get his problem cured, he visits this rural area okay, of where Mrs. Sappleton lives. Adu reason. And of course, if we closely look at him, he looks like a solitary. Solitary means alone. You know, ಒಂಟಿತನ ಅವನಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾವಾಗಲೂ ಸಹ ಕಾಡ್ತಾ ಇರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥದ್ದು ಅವನ ಮನಸ್ಸಲ್ಲಿ ನಾವು ಗಮನಿಸಬಹುದು. ಅಂಡ್ ಮೆಲಾಂಕಲಿಕ್ ಡಿಸ್ಪೊಸಿಷನ್, ಮೆಲಾಂಕಲಿಕ್ ಗ್ಲೂಮಿ ಆರ್ ಸ್ಯಾಡ್, ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ದುಃಖಕರ, ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ವೇದನೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ಇರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥದ್ದನ್ನ ವಿ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಅಬ್ಸರ್ವ್ ಆಸ್ ದ ಸ್ಟೋರಿ progresses. Yeah, fine. We know that he has brought letters of introduction from his sister, and his sister lived in this area some 4 years back in the rectory. Good. And this, yeah, so Mr. Frampton Nuttall is a gullible person and easily frightened. Gullible means, okay, anybody can deceive him, anybody can cheat him easily. ಅಂತ ತುಂಬ ಸುಲಭವಾಗಿ ಮೋಸ ಮಾಡಿಸ್ಬೋದು ಅಥವಾ ಮರಳುಗೊಳಿಸಬಹುದಾಗಿರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಕ್ಯಾರೆಕ್ಟರ್. ಅಂಡ್ ಈಸಿಲಿ ಫ್ರೈಟಂಡ್, ತುಂಬ ಬೇಗ ಭಯವನ್ನ ಪಡ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಮನುಷ್ಯ ಮಿಸ್ಟರ್ ಫ್ರಾಂಪ್ಟನ್. Right, his exit is quite sudden, quite unexpected. Okay, as soon as the three men along with the dog arrive, we know that how hastily he exits. ಎಷ್ಟು ಅವಸರವಾಗಿ ಹೋಗ್ತಾನೆ. He grabs his stick. Okay, he rushes out of the house, and even ಎಷ್ಟೊಂದು the intensity of his exit was ಎಷ್ಟಿತ್ತಂದ್ರೆ he even collides with a cyclist. ದಾರಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಬರ್ತಿರುವಂತ ಸೈಕಲ್ ಮೇಲೆ ಬರ್ತಾ ಇರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಸವಾರನಿಗೆ ಡಿಕ್ಕಿಯನ್ನು ಹೊಡೆದು ಹೋಗ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥದ್ದನ್ನ ಗಮನಿಸ್ತೀವಿ. ಸೊ ಯು ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಆಡ್ ಆಲ್ ದೀಸ್ ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ಥಿಂಗ್ಸ್ if you are asked to sketch the character of Mr. Frampton Nuttall. Okay, let us see the next character ಯಾವಿದೆ. Vera. In case if you are asked to write a note on Vera, ತುಂಬಾ ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿ ಗೊತ್ತಿದೆ ನಮಗೆಲ್ಲ, you know that Vera, what kind of a girl is Vera ಅನ್ನೋದು. Yeah, so she is Mrs. Sappleton's niece. ನಮಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಿದೆ, she is Mrs. Sappleton's niece and she lives with this family in this area. Right, she is described as a self-possessed young lady of 15. Okay, 15 years old. ಗೊತ್ತಿದೆ, self-possessed, okay, calm and confident. She is calm and confident, even though her age is 15. And if we compare her character with Mr. Frampton Nuttall, okay, she is 15, and of course he is more than 15. ಇವಳಿಗಿಂತ ದೊಡ್ಡವನು ನಮಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಾಗುತ್ತೆ. But when compared to that, she is calm and confident, whereas Mr. Frampton Nuttall was uncomfortable and a bit hasty. ಆಗಿರ್ತಂತನ we can observe. And she greets Frampton. Okay, when the story begins, okay, she greets Frampton to Mrs. Sappleton's house, and we know that Mrs. Sappleton does not present at home when he arrives. And we also know that how she entertains him, and after knowing that he knows nothing about Mrs. Sappleton and nobody in this area, she weaves a story, she fabricates a story, ಒಂದು ಕಥೆಯನ್ನ ಹೇಳ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥದ್ದು ನಾವು ಗಮನಿಸಿದ್ದೇವೆ. And she's bold and cunning. Bold, she's very bold and cunning. Cunning means really, okay, so cunning in the sense she tells a lie when she tells the tragic story to Mr. Frampton ಅನ್ನೋದು. She is known for her penchant for telling tall tales. Penchant means a special liking, ಅಭಿರುಚಿ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಲ್ಲ. So she is known for her penchant, abhiruchi, ಅಥವಾ strong liking for telling tall tales or sudden tales. ತಕ್ಷಣಕ್ಕೆ ಕಥೆಗಳನ್ನು ಹೆಣೆದು ಹೇಳ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥದ್ದು ಅವಳಲ್ಲಿರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಒಂದು ವಿಶಿಷ್ಟವಾದ ಗುಣ, ಎ ಸ್ಪೆಷಲ್ ಕ್ಯಾರೆಕ್ಟರಿಸ್ಟಿಕ್ we can say. She takes elements in her environment and quickly cobbles together two stories. Okay, she knows that three men have gone to shooting on that particular day with that dog. ಇದನ್ನು ಬಳಸ್ಕೊಂಡು, she knows that they will definitely come back in the evening. Okay, by using these things, the elements means all these things in the environment, she cobbles, she weaves, she fabricates a story. ಅದು ಒಂದು ಸ್ಟೋರಿ ಆಯಿತು. ಓಕೆ, ಹೇಗೆ ದಿ ತ್ರೀ ಮೆನ್ ವೆಂಟ್ ಫಾರ್ ಶೂಟಿಂಗ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಅವರ್ ಡ್ರೌಂಡ್ ಅಂತೆಲ್ಲ ಹೇಳ್ತಾವಲ್ಲ ಅದು. ಅಂಡ್ ಅನದರ್ ಸ್ಟೋರಿ ಈಸ್ ದ ಸ್ಟೋರಿ ಅಬೌಟ್ ದ Frampton Nuttall's fear about dogs. Okay, as soon as she sees the spaniel with these three people, and when Mr. Sappleton asks Mrs. Sappleton why that man rushed so hastily, she suddenly again invents one more story and tells that Mr. Frampton is afraid of dogs. So these are the special qualities about Vera. So ಈ ರೀತಿಯಾಗಿ if you are asked even write a short note on Mr. Sappleton, you can write like this, okay, in this way. So here two characters are taken as examples for you, my dear students. Then what if we have learned in this video or after watching this video means, yeah, now after watching this video, the students are able to sketch the characters. Now they have an ability, or they have learned how to sketch the characters uh, of a story, especially here the open window. Right, the reference again the textbook prescribed by the University, and this YouTube link have been used for making some notes or points for this video. All right, my dear students, we have entered the slide of multiple choice questions, and this is question number one. Let us see what is question number one. One of the following is not the quality of Mr. Frampton metal, not the quality of Mr. Frampton metal, my dear students. Okay, so the first option is he is romantic, unorthodoxy, he is gullible, he is naive, he is afraid. So, which of these four qualities is not there in Frampton Nuttall? Yes, romantic, gullible, naive, and afraid. And the answer is A, romantic. Yes, so he is not romantic. He is not romantic. Question number two, right? Which is true about Mr. Frampton? Which is true about Mr. Frampton? The first option is he says goodbye to Mrs. Appleton. B, he is not afraid of physical violence. He does not believe Vera's story. He collides with a cyclist, true about which is true about ಮಿಸ್ಟರ್ ಫ್ರಾಂಪ್ಟನ್. ಯಾವುದು ಫ್ರಾಂಪ್ಟನ್ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಸರಿಯಾಗಿರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಹೇಳಿಕೆ ಈ ನಾಲ್ಕರಲ್ಲಿ ಅನ್ನೋದು. ರೈಟ್? ಎಸ್, ಫೋರ್ ಚಾನ್ಸಸ್ ಯು ಹ್ಯಾವ್ gone through. Let us see the answer. Answer D, that is he collides with a cyclist. It is true. Otherwise all the other three are false about his his character. Right. Let us go to the next one. Question number 3. One of the following is not Frampton's nature. Is not Frampton's nature. Low confidence. A. B. Susceptible to horror. C. Mistaken belief. D. Adventurer, adventurous. Yes, which is not Frampton's nature. The answer is yes, D. Adventure is not his nature. He is very afraid. Question number 4, and the fourth question is which is not true about Vera? Which is not true about Vera? She is 15 years old. B. She is self-possessed girl. She is daughter of Mrs. Appleton. She tells a lie to Mr. Frampton. Yes, not true. ಯಾವುದು ಇದರಲ್ಲಿ ಸರಿಯಾದ ಹೇಳಿಕೆ ಅಲ್ಲ ವೆರಾಳ ಬಗ್ಗೆ. Right, the answer here comes C. She is daughter of Mrs. Appleton. No, okay, she is not the daughter. She is niece of Mrs. Appleton. Right, and let us go to the last question, dear students. Question number 5. What kind of a girl is Vera? Again, a question on Vera. She is calm. She is confident. Only A, that means she is calm only. Only B, she is confident only. Both A and D, that means both calm and confident. Okay, just think about the right option, and the right option is answer E, both A and D, that means she is calm and confident. Okay, my dear students. So here ends this question. Okay. Thank you for watching this video and learning something about how to sketch a character from a given story. Okay, so let us meet in the next class, and the next class, class 5, will be on the same short story, The Open Window. Until then, stay blessed. Until then, Stay blessed, my dear students. So we'll be meeting in the next class.